Welcome everybody to Theory Underground. What you're about to hear is one of my favorite conversations I've had all year. Nance and I got a chance to meet JREG, and if you don't know about JREG already, well, then what are you doing? Go look at his channel. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of funny stuff over there. Okay, it's also very instructional or illuminating in some kind of way. What kind of way? Well, you learn about how I think that is the case here. Just listen to the episode already. All right, let's get to it. I'm about to roll this, but I also just want to say, Nance, I think some people in the live chat thought that Nance was like straight up dunking on JREG by calling him Tekashi 6ix9ine of politics. I do not think it was a dunk, but it is a very important question about like irony and political theory, and I just have to say, I'll take 100 JREGs over one bread tuber any day. I think that what he is doing is genuine art in the 21st century. And that's kind of crazy for me to say, because I always say that there's no such thing as a real art music. There's no such thing as a real art movement in the 21st century, right? People first have to understand the medium before there can be a real art movement. And real art movements come out of genuine theoretical milieus, and there's not been a genuine theoretical milieu or real school of philosophy since the 1990s, when it was CCRU versus the Ljubljana school. So hopefully there's something new in the works here, and I think that JREG is cutting edge. So that's what I have to say about that. I hope that you all enjoy this. If you're curious about what Theory Underground is as a teaching course site, as a Jesus Christ, I can't even talk, lecture course site, or ongoing research seminars, the books that we publish, whatever. If you're interested in any of that or getting involved, just feeling out the vibe, whatever, stick around till the end of the video. Watch the PSA. All right, enjoy. Welcome back, everybody, to the Epic Marathon stream at Theory Underground on September 18th. It's so good to have JREG joining us right now. How are you, man?
You asked me this question already, and I said I've never been better, and every day of my life has been better than the last. It's like a never-ending positive feedback loop until I reach nirvana or something.
Cool. So how are you doing today, JREG?
That's an awful question to follow up the explanation I just gave, but to reiterate, imagine that positive feedback loop. Imagine the highest point you could imagine, and then I'm just one day ahead of that.
Tight, yeah! We wanted to talk to you first about a trademark infringement complaint.
Some very serious business.
Okay, yes. Oh, I already know where this is going.
Yeah, well, you were reported to us by one of the authorities, Bauer, shout out to him in Finland. He watches you. I don't know why, but he said that you were using Timenergy in sentences. Mm-hmm. I checked it out, and then I thought, this is actually fun. I like this guy. He's doing cool stuff. I'm just kidding. I already knew about you for years. So,
okay. Look, I'm very bad at discerning jokes from fact. So I was like, there was no element of me that was like, okay, let's see where this goes. I was like, okay, this is information I'm getting about the scenario. Okay.
Well, the trademark infringement is true. You're going to court.
Okay.
But
oh no. So I believe this now wholeheartedly.
Yes. So we mainly wanted to bring you in here to ask you why you were doing that.
Okay. So listen, the Timenergy thing, the big Timenergy drama. The Timenergy situation is crazy. If Gokinaru, our mutual one diamond mine, Gokinaru's friend, was making a video, it would say the Timenergy situation is crazy. And it would be my face, and it would be like plagiarist, and it would be your face, and you'd be like, I don't know where I heard the word Timenergy, but it's a very and also I'd love for you to describe it to me at some point, because I only know. I think one guy must have told me about you at some point, and I must have heard the word, and it must have been such an intuitive word that I used it in that one skit that we're talking about, which I think if I'm not mistaken is the 500,000 sub special thing. where I say the word. The internet is stealing. Yeah, I actually can't remember the exact word I used, but the sentence I used.
Yeah, the internet's stealing
The
our
internet's
time energy.
stealing your time energy, something like that. Yeah.
No, I talk about that in my master's thesis. I talked about how the attention economy, there's something about how it's sort of, it kind of fills in the gaps of our life in a way that kind of finishes making sure we don't have any time energy, right? And so just to say the basic definition before, so we can get on with this, it's just, it is large energy infused, repeatable blocks of time reliably available between us throughout the week. And so if you can't start a band with people and actually get better on instruments, then almost guaranteed the reason is you just don't have large energy infused, repeatable blocks of time reliably available between you and your bandmates, right? So it's almost guaranteed that that is the case. In almost everybody in a job-centric society, in almost everybody's case, you don't have time energy. You just kind of guess that. Yeah. And the reason
I think that's a good term. It's an intuitive term.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's like it takes time and it takes energy and it just kind of puts it together.
And it's one E in the middle, right?
One E.
Tim energy.
Yeah.
So it's like Tim energy.
Tim energy, exactly. Well, the robot reader always says it wrong. It says Tim energy.
Tim energy. Yeah.
I am Tim energy. Yeah. And
well, listen, let me just make a public apology for the plagiarism.
Thank you.
I will be on record here. Time energy is Theory Underground's wonderful idea, which was now explicated to me. And I think I think is the way I used it, because I didn't understand. Is the way I used it right? Did I use it right in the video?
Close enough. Yeah.
Close enough. Yeah. That's how I use all these vibes. Like all these terms are just vibes to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
like deterritorialize. I don't know what that means. I'm deterritorialize you right now. Boop.
Yeah. No, and I want to get into vibes and scenes, and I think you're kind of good at thinking about both vibes and scenes, and that's kind of what you do as a sort of as a shit posting diagnostician or anthropologist of the not, I don't want to just say the left, really the political scene online, but also just broader scenes. Nance just sent me a video of you, an interview, and you said that you are fascinated by scenes. You go to all these different things and check them out. And part of where Theory Underground comes from is this realization that a lot of what we were doing as politics was really just scene kid shit dressed up as politics. And so it's a theory scene that we find ourselves in. The real question is, can it become something more? Does it have some other kind of capacities? Or is Plastic Bill's correct when he says, no, there's not anything more you can do. It is just vibes and there's just nothing else to it. I think he said that on your podcast, in fact.
Yeah, it's all like what? It's all just vibes, basically. Vibe nihilism.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's pretty much the conversation.
Okay. So wait, sorry. There's the vibe nihilism that Plastic Pills was getting at, and then there's what's the other one?
So
Why?
The possibility of the scene going to be becoming something more than just a scene. And so for us, it becomes, what are the conditions of possibility for a milieu, like a genuine, robust, working class intellectual milieu. And obviously not restricted to the working class, but we have workers with earbuds in mind, because most of our listeners are warehouse workers and truck drivers who are just tuning in. They got into it through podcasts, and maybe they watched a little Left Tube, maybe they watched a little Theory Tube, maybe they were Hegelian e-girls for a hot second, but now they're over here hanging out with us. And so
okay, I think I think the scene kid stuff's very apt. It's definitely a super apt observation. And I am someone interested in scenes. So what scene, but like, I'm interested in like flesh space scenes, like I'm interested in like, honestly, the being on a Zoom call, this is like a humiliation ritual for me in some ways. I like doing these in person,
I would be embarrassed too.
Yeah. But so like, so can I ask you what do you think? Do you think that diminishes like if it's all just like scene kid stuff, do you think that makes it all meaningless?
Not more than saying it's all just vibes, I think, but
Hmm.
to say that something has some of the necessary conditions to go from being something to something else that you think is better is a compliment, as long as there are other necessary conditions that could make it sufficient, right? So I'm just getting it. I'm talking like an analytic philosopher for a second, but really we're just talking about what are the conditions of possibility to go from being a scene to being a milieu. Now, if we say it's right now, everyone thinks they're doing politics, but it's just a scene. JREG is just hot topic for Zoomers getting into politics or maybe exiting politics. Maybe they're getting a little disillusioned on it. Who knows?
Sure.
Or any other. I use you because you're present. I don't want to talk shit about people not in the room. But the point is like
Yeah.
people are shopping for their identities at Hot Topic, and that's what this kind of
Yeah.
is. The difference between then and now, you know, because I'm referring to my own past. I used to shop at Hot Topic. Well, the difference between now and then is like we had more money and people were getting together in the meet space back then. Whereas now there's this kind of question, are we going to start actually doing more IRL stuff? I think so. It seems like this year, especially just hearing you talk about going all over, you've been getting together with people in the real world.
I would say not only have I been getting together with people, I think I'd say that's like the main thing I've been doing, because I think the internet this is a hot take. I don't know if you guys would resonate with this one, but made me and is making me mentally ill, like violently, and grounding myself in like other flesh space human beings has been valuable. Like One Dime, for example, a great guy. So you know, that's been helpful to me. And I'd say like the main thing, I go around and I see scenes and I travel and stuff, but like the main thing I'm interested in is like building a scene where I am. And it's an artistic creative scene. It's like a lot of things going on there.
Toronto,
yeah, specifically Toronto. Like that's the locality of it. It's territorializing myself, a word I don't know, but I got the vibe, I think. Yeah.
You have been spiritually deterritorialized for the last decade, presumably by the internet, and now you are trying to territorialize yourself where you have physically been this whole time.
I'm doing my best, and I think it's a good activity for someone to pursue. And it was, well, especially internet people, right? Like the average worker, with the earbuds in, as we say, they're probably fine, because probably they get to, at least they're like going outside, right? I'm just comparing them to like an internet person, right? Like that's fucking 16 hours a day screen time, right?
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
I mean, to me, it seems like at Amazon, and I've worked at 2 Amazon warehouses. I'm writing a book called Work at Amazon. And basically there's like 3 kinds of workers, basically. There's the tryhards, there's the slackers, and then there's the kind of blending, being neither of those groups, but kind of being average, right? Kind of like in high school or something, I imagine. All of them are on their phones in the break room, not talking to each other, except for maybe like this group over here. There's like 3 people over here that talk. And I was working many shifts. And so different shifts on different floors, it's different crews, it's different dynamics, but there's always like a click or 2 of people who really want to hang out. And so they do, but everyone else is on their phones. And the people who hang out, my assessment of them, and this is not coming from rigorous, I'm kidding. It comes from the most rigorous anthropological, sociological research, is that they all, in every case, are also on their phones talking about the stuff that they all share in common through their phones. So everybody is an online person as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
It's true, right? Like, people like us, we are creating more things to give them the phone thing. I don't know. I think at some point I reached some sort of horrible nihilism with everything I was producing for the screen, because it's just like, I look at this thing, it makes me unhappy, and then the only way I can produce that techno capital with my time energy, vibes, is to do more of the. It seems like the only way to make money is to perpetuate evil or something.
We got to do
But
what we can.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think every podcast and Instagram page is like, you have to have it, but then it's also evil. I think a meteor should hit the Earth. That's my solution. That's my practical theory-based solution for our modern day problems.
Commercial break. TUCon 2024 happening October 24th through 27th. It's 4 days of brain overstimulation. That's right. We're going to be talking about sci-fi philosophy, human futures, critical media theory, the question of post-politics, like all of it, psychoanalysis, phenomenology, structuralism, all of these various approaches. We're going to be getting into it. We're going to get in the deep end. If you're curious, if you want to attend, if you live in Boise, that's good for you. If you want to travel here, well, you can come. But if you would like to just join virtually, you will be able to attend it via Zoom. That's right. Register today. Thank you, and hope to see you there at TUCon.
Tight, yeah. Like, you have to have it, but then it's also evil. I think a meteor should hit the Earth. That's my solution. That's my practical theory-based solution for our modern day problems.
Yeah, I've seen that car bumper sticker. You're a little behind the times here. In the United States, it's been around for at least 10 years. People say they vote for the meteor.
Okay. Yeah. Wait, hold on. I'm updating it. I'm updating it for Gen Z. I just wanted to hit me, specifically JREG, like me. The world can carry on. It's not like some virulent nihilistic, just kill everybody. Okay. Take me out though.
Okay.
Bonk me right on the head.
I would have that bumper sticker on my
Hell yeah.
on my car. Yeah.
Hell right yeah.
100%. Yeah. Now I wanna pick Nance's brains about this nihilism theme. I know it's near and dear to his heart. I know that he wants to off himself whenever he sees your face come up on his computer. And so before we get to him though, I just wanted to say on that note, I think it's probably my favorite thing about you. Because I don't like Canadians, first of all. Let me just say that up front. Xenophobia is an underrated vibe. I don't really know what it means, but as far as vibes, I think it's okay.
Let me just say I totally agree with you, and that's why I hate Americans. So
perfect. Yeah, no, it's great. We can agree on that. And so, yeah. But also I'm a first gen immigrant of Canadian parents who moved here and then had me. And so I go back there for every family reunion every year. And, but we're from the other side of the country, the side you all look down on and that has no representation in government. And so,
oh, good.
I have that sort of secondhand populist, like branded through Republicans. I'm thinking, hatred of the Canadian East Coast elite. I know nothing of it. I know literally nothing of you guys' anything except for what I've seen you or JJ McCullough do. And so it's like, I just don't know. But what I wanted to say is for people who are watching this right now, people who have no idea, hold on a second. You can't be here. Go away.
Okay, no, come back.
No. You can't. Okay. I have a question.
I got to see my friend one time, and now he has to go away back into his Matrix profile picture. No.
If he hangs out, he'll be able to be in the green room with you. But before I can ask my question that sets up Nance, I just wanted to, for the people watching this who don't know enough about LeftTube, they only come from TheoryTube, they've never paid attention to LeftTube. I just want you all to know it's almost all Canadians, and most of them like come off like they don't take themselves seriously. There's always a little bit of performative irony, but you can see it's only skin deep. They're very, very serious people. And the nice thing is you peel back a few layers of skin, and JREG, the ironist, is still there. He maintains this ironic, nihilistic tendency deeper than just that first level. And so that's what I was trying to get at. Nance, what do you want to say about nihilism?
The other day, I told Dave and Mikey, another of our buddies, that I think you are the Tekashi 6ix9ine of BreadTube.
Wow,
And
that's wrong on both fronts. I hate it. Continue.
I don't mean that in a bad way. Like
no.
actually.
Yeah, but look, I'll be honest with you. I don't even know if we're on the same cultural footing because I barely know who Tekashi 6ix9ine is, but I just know there's like bad vibes associated with this guy. So I'm gonna look him up and you keep talking.
So yeah, like a lot of people hate on him because he's been involved in a lot of drama, and that's true. But I didn't mean it in a bad way. Like I actually think there's something special with Tekashi 6ix9ine. Like he rose to fame for a brief moment because he's so spectacular, and there's something unique about him. And I think it has to do with like a generation of nihilists who aren't even like self-aware, like Gen Z. I'm an older guy. I have several kids who are Gen Z kids. So I spend a lot of time thinking about and trying to understand Gen Z and like how they kind of relate to the world. And I meant it in a good way. Like I think Tekashi 6ix9ine is talented. He is. I personally don't like his music, but there's something special about him. And like that's similarly,
dude, whatever, man. He drops bangers. It's easy to imagine why people like his music. Banger after banger.
His shit blows
I don't
up.
listen to it, but it's bangers.
Wait.
Yeah.
So sorry. What is the quality criteria we're judging Tekashi 6ix9ine and being good in any way is?
Makes me want to beat people up and dance. I don't know.
Yeah, it gets you moving. It shocks you out of like the doldrums of your daily life. You can go through your daily life on autopilot. And I think for a lot of people, especially Gen Z, they go through their daily life and they consume BreadTube or LeftTube or whatever, and they're just on autopilot. And then JREG comes along and there's something that I can't put my finger on. And I really do, like, I think that's a really good thing. I think there's something going on.
Nance, you just have to flesh it out. You have to flesh it out at TUCon. You just make a proper paper about why this is true, why JREG is Tekashi 6ix9ine, actually. Yeah.
But so I don't know. Like, I think
that's a good idea. I was thinking of getting damaged on my forehead.
Like the Joker. I think
the Joker.
I think you are challenging people's nihilism, or I don't know, maybe drawing attention to this kind of like general malaise that people kind of feel that and they aren't aware of it. And I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know. Like there is something fascinating with what you do, and I think I can sit back and get in my like grumpy old man. Oh, he's not really a nihilist. Like I think I'm a nihilist, and then you come along and I don't know what the fuck's going on.
You're stealing his glory.
Yeah, yeah.
He's old gen,
but I think it's
nihilism.
I think like you're celebrating it in a way that I'm unsure of. Mm-hmm. Like you're dancing, like having a dance party at the end of the world. And I don't know. No, it's definitely spectacular. But I think there's something else going on.
I think it's wholesome. I think it's wholesome and funny. It's like
I think
pure.
It's very sweet.
It's like pure.
I'm sensing. Okay, listen. I'm sensing. Okay, there's the goodwill, and I appreciate that. I'm taking it, but I think it's gonna be more interesting if we get into it. So hit me with some like, ugh. Like what are some like oh, this guy's bad.
Let me do it. Let me do it. Shut up, man. Okay. Let me do it. Okay. Let me do it.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be more fun.
My favorite bone to pick with you, I think, might be this one. You basically like to lead with you don't read theory. And I feel like you're not telling the whole truth. I feel like you do read theory, but you need to own up to it because little kids on YouTube need to learn, oh, I can be on YouTube and also read theory, and that's okay. What do you think about that?
Be a good role model for people who are interested in reading theory.
I think you could do that. You don't have
to. I have to be a moral arbiter for the kids. The kids, the children. Your bone to pick is think about the children. You're gonna use that one on me? I thought about the children. let me tell you, and I
Right.
don't care. I don't care for them. I don't care for these kids. I don't.
Yeah, man.
It's never enough. It's never enough. You give them. You try to be a good role model, you know, and then it's never enough. They want more from you. They want
It's
more
true.
from you. These kids. I don't know. I don't have children. Okay, I don't have kids right now, and it's like I'm not ready for that responsibility. And then I got to think about all these kids in my audience, and I got to take care of them. But you know, I take your point. And to get to the meat of your point, I read all kinds of books. I love theory. And if any children are watching, they should go out and they should read any theory that they want. But specifically the ones endorsed by this podcast. Look, I'm bending the knee. Are you happy?
Yeah. No, thank you. Yes. This is good.
Amazing.
Thank you for that. Nance, are you happy?
Wait. No, Nance, give me something. Let's get into it.
I don't know. Like there is like a quality of everything that goes online, and I think you're aware of it because you said you're more interested in kind of creating real spaces. But there's this, I don't know, weird thing where it seems like we're just, like I said, like having a dance party at the end of the world. And to me, that's a little gross sometimes because like, I do feel like we are at the end of the world.
Yes.
But I don't think that's like total and complete. Like I do like there's something that remains. I do believe that something human will make it out of the near future. But we don't know what that is, right? Which is why we over here read theory and try to do experiments and shit that's going on. But you are also doing like physical space shit.
True.
So that's not really like criticism that I can throw at you.
I go. That's good. This is a lot to work with. The dance party at the end of the world vibe. I think you correctly intuit on. I guess really all I can say for myself as a defense or something is I guess I'm not really trying to make a statement of like this is how you should feel or this is what you should think about it. It's more like I am embodying the like the feeling of the cope, for example, of the world's ending, let's have a good time. And I also think it's a cope to be like the world's ending, but we can save it. I think that's probably also a cope. And it's like, what cope do you prefer? And like, I flip flop, you know, we don't know. No one knows if things are gonna all come to a crash all at once, like slowly, quickly. I mean, it seems like the vibes are definitely bad. Things are bad. I'll be the first to say it. I'll be the first brave soul to say it. But
thank you. Very brave.
Finally, someone says it.
It's a relief to hear.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I resonate. Like when you say that's gross, I don't even want to defend myself. I'm like, because I feel gross when I do it.
Yeah. I feel disgusted by both of you right now. Let's just like I don't see a way out. I just think we're all fucked. But in a different way. I don't think we're all fucked. Like there's nothing we can do about it. And I don't think that's just cope. As an article of faith, it's more than that. But no, I also I also think that there is like this sort of disillusionment that comes from taking it all very seriously when you realize after some point, it presupposes that we all take it seriously at a certain level. People keep playing along. That's not actually doing anything. And then you kind of step back from everyone else doing it. And then you're like that meme where you're in the corner of the room and you're like, people don't realize, but I don't buy into the bullshit anymore. And then you kind of keep hanging out, but then you go online and you're like, by the way, guys, I don't buy into the bullshit anymore. And then everyone's like, yeah, me either, man. Fuck it, man. We're all fucked. And then to me, it feels like it's a dark place, you know? And so it's like, you know, like the doomer memes. It's like, I think most of my friends either had a phase or are still in this phase. And it's not a phase, Dave. Maybe it's not a phase. But I don't know. But it does seem I think what it is subjective destitution in this Žižekian sense. You're bottoming out. And I think that's that period of moratorium that can come from bottoming out and owning up to the situation, as he says, like the hopelessness of the situation. I think that can be good. But then the question arises, is there a way of going about it that is better than another way, where maybe in one way of going about it or multiple ways of going about it, it's a dead end and it's not going to go anywhere and you're actually hurting yourself and or other people, whereas there's other ways of going about it where maybe it won't just be a dead end or necessarily end in a harmful place for you. I don't know.
I just like my attention span to like take that idea seriously. We're doing like, this is the problem. This is, I think, my fundamental problem with theory and why I claim to be illiterate. So maybe we're getting somewhere.
Yo, what's up, listener or viewer?
Yo.
How you doing?
So I noticed you sitting there watching this video.
Yep.
And yeah, you're listening, you're paying attention. You're definitely not hearing everything we're saying though.
Yep. Nope, definitely not. You're not taking notes.
Yeah, take notes, dude. What are you doing?
Hey, you know what? If you want to be passive and just enjoy this content while multitasking, that's what we do as well. Everyone does that most of the time. We very rarely switch into this more active mode, and that's fine. That's fine because you're kind of absorbing this content as you go through your life, and that's great. But if you're going to do that, then we just have a little request of you. What's our little request, Nance?
We want you to do the algorithm things. We want you to hit the button, the thumbs up, or the thumbs down. Hit the subscribe button. You could even hit the bell so you get notified when there's an epic marathon stream.
Yep.
Or one of the dope ass interviews. We just finished a dope ass interview. But do the things to help train your algorithm to actually give you content that you prefer. And at least here we are aware of the problem. We are aware that we're all infected with the algorithm, and we're trying to do something about it. So while you can like maintain a cynical distance of like not being an enthusiastic vocal supporter,
right?
Doing those actions actually, first of all, it helps the channel. It helps Theory Underground, but it helps your algorithm too. You will get less kind of shitty clickbait React content if you train your algorithm to give you what you prefer. I mean, you're already here. You're already watching this.
Yeah.
So
enthusiastic, unironic, genuine support might be a little too much for some of you who are way too cool for that kind of thing. But you can at least hit the little like button, and then we'll say we're even, okay?
There we go. You owe us nothing now.
Yeah, let's get back to it.
I just like my attention span to like take that idea seriously. We're doing like, this is the problem. This is, I think, my fundamental problem with theory and why I claim to be illiterate. So maybe we're getting somewhere here. Is like, I'm not okay. Maybe this is it. I'm not really thinking when I make art. Like, I'm just like, I feel, and then I put words to that. I don't even think about the social ramifications of like if that's a good thing to do or not. So like it's very possible that there's immoral nihilism happening here, but then at the same time it seems to be helpful for people to see what that looks like at the extreme. So
you're like
don't everyone go at once. Nance.
I just wanted to say, so it's like you're doing like collective catharsis by proxy for like disillusioned youth. And maybe that's a little silly, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but they're like you kind of embody something that I call like youth. I see in my kids, I see in my kids' friends, and I like I said, I think it's sweet, but I think you're more of a realist than I was when I was, in my teenage years, in my early 20s. Like I think I coped harder than, the youth of today. I don't know.
Can I ask about that? Because there's a generational divide here that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I think
like
we invest.
How did you cope when you were younger? And how do you observe the youth coping now?
I don't know. First of all, I don't want to like overinvest in like the whole generational cohort thing because it is bullshit. But like kids can't run away from the world the same way I was able to run away from the world. Like I could just get fucked up, ride my skateboard, listen to punk rock. Nothing was real unless I was like actively engaging in it. But now because kids are constantly saturated, constantly inundated with something more real via the media environment, you can't run away from it. And so it's not so much like coping, it's like we ran away, whereas the youth of today can't run away as hard as we did.
That's okay. Wait, pause. Okay. I know the generational cohort thing. That's not something I would have ever heard from someone my age, because that's such a great point. That's such a profound point. And like when you said that, I got sad because like I cannot get away from my phone. I can't. Yeah. I centered my entire life around getting 3 hours away from my phone. Because I have an entire studio here, and I leave my phone and all of my electronics here just to get like 3 hours, maybe, of when I walk home and I go to sleep and I wake up, there's no electronics there. I can't run away because I have to come back. I am trapped in this hell and there's no way out. And that's been my entire life. So I will, and also, okay, part of the community stuff is like, I take just the one thing I've learned is that let older people like, and I don't just have like tend to have something to give me that people my own age don't. And I don't know how that comes across. I'm not trying to make any like you're old accusations, but I appreciate that. I'm just saying I appreciate that you gave me that, because I've never heard that before, and that's very interesting.
Yeah. Cadell in the chat said JREG is an artist, and that Nance is spot on. And I just wanted to say that it is important to think about what you're doing as art, and that you are taking feelings and giving them a form of expression, and you're doing it for your own, I'll say sanity. That I think that an artist has to be able to express how they're feeling, or they really will just lose it. And of course, as you're describing, like, it's sort of your Fichtean anstos, meaning like the thing that's working for you is also the thing that's undermining you at the exact same time, right? So it's working for you in the sense that like, yeah, you are able to express yourself, but the medium that you have to express yourself on is also the thing that is giving you like all of this, but of course we can't get off of it. There is no leaving it. We can get a flip phone. Okay. And then, 6 months later, we'll be back on our smartphones. But that's what
I did that. Exact. Yep.
Everyone does it, right? Everyone's done it.
Yep.
Hey, hands up in the chat if you've done it, by the way, everybody. But I wanted to make this connection back to talk to Kashi69, because he's a metonym only, not a metaphor, a metonym, meaning like a representative of a greater whole and a greater tendency. And so let's just go SoundCloud rapper. Right? We're not just talking about Tekashi. The fact is you did a video on Post Malone. It's one of my favorite things that you've done. It's really funny. Everyone should make sure to check it out. Everything about Tekashi that is relevant in this case applies to Posty. The difference is, and why it would be maybe easier to say you're more like Post Malone, is that Tekashi69 is a snitch and ran around the country saying, hey, I'm here, who wants to fight me? And then was actually lying. He was constantly on the run. And then eventually they caught up with him, and like, it's just not good. So it's like Tekashi's the drama for Tekashi.
The more I learn about this Tekashi fellow, the less I like him.
Yeah. From what we could tell, we don't like him either. I don't know him, but okay. But with the broader tendency of SoundCloud rap, I think is what we are kind of getting at. And it's the same thing, I think, in this one essential sense. You were describing it as, and then just needing to give it some kind of expression through the medium that is at your immediate disposal. And that's exactly what SoundCloud rap is and or was. And it's like the emo rap, the screamo rap, the trap rap, all of it is, it's very violent, very aggressive, very like taking all of this energy that we feel right now and just giving it an immediate form of expression. And so in that sense, that's where I would see the greatest connection, you know? And I would say
that's a very interesting. I've never heard that connection made, but now that you say it, it makes a lot of sense. That's valuable for me to hear and think about, actually, because part of like, I'm not talking about my work here because it's like navel gazing. I'm like, actually, I am kind of confused as to what I'm doing as well. So like knowing more about that is helpful for me.
Yeah, well, and the intersection between art and theory is an interesting one, right? And it's something that we all have to think about when you are kind of when you're between political theory and critical theory, right? And so one of the things that I'll want to get into is kind of how we are experimenting with the medium and IRL spaces, and maybe some of your own experiences with that, and kind of the stuff that we're doing with these things. But I kind of want to also just ask you a couple, and these might be boring. I'm sorry if they are, but I am curious, like, did the sort of style of kind of using a cheap green screen, or maybe it's like kind of, like this kind of, I can only really describe it as shit posting. I don't really know if that's accurate, but the idea is like, you're playing characters, they have costumes, think ContraPoints, but without the what
self-righteousness.
No. Hey,
sorry, I didn't say that. Sorry.
Be nice. No, the overproduction. Right. We're talking like it's the first draft. Let's publish it. And with,
that's true. Yeah.
With cuts where maybe it doesn't always make sense, and there's like straight up like jarring cuts and sort of
yeah.
Did that come, like, how did that come about? How did you kind of get into that kind of thing? And
I am a big believer that the imperfections of the art are what make the art what the art is. And I think when I see overly polished art, it doesn't really communicate like this is a perfect piece of art. It kind of communicates like the artist made a lot of effort to make me think that they really want this to be a perfect piece of art. That's actually what it communicates to me. And you hear this in music when the mixing is like too good. They spent like 300 hours on the mixing of the song so that every note hits exactly right. And you're like, that's actually not what this is supposed to sound like. This is like some sort of horrifying robot abomination. But someone basically spent their lives, their beautiful time energy on the Theory Underground podcast into creating like some machine thing. So anyway, just to bring this back to me, there's kind of two levels going on here. One is like, I'm a big believer that there's like a point where the art is kind of like the imperfections that you leave in say something about the aesthetic that you're going for, or the kind of they're adding to the art and they're actually detracting from it. And B, I am not, and this is really the important part, a good video editor. I never have been. I don't know how cameras work. I don't understand them. I don't know what aperture means. I don't know what ISO means. I don't know how to focus my camera half the time. I've been doing this full time for 5 years. I will never learn. That's actually, I probably should have led with that one, actually.
Yeah. Well, and I'll just say, I want to hear what Nance has off all this so far, but really quick, wanted to draw everyone's attention to, if I can find it, I'm going to share it on screen and also in the Zoom chat so you can see it. By the way, is it JREG or is it DREG?
It's pronounced drog.
Drog.
To rhyme with Zog. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, drog. Yeah, I'm drogged. Actually, okay. You guys have just been drogged. You're part of drog now.
Oh, hail drog. Yeah.
Hail drog. I feel like we can say Zog.
I mean,
I Zog did on the Theory Underground podcast. That's fine.
I did say it. I don't know if I can say it. I don't know if that's. I heard you saying.
I mean,
it.
we're just saying the word Zog. We're not even like. Sorry, I think you already sort of implied that I shouldn't try to edge mog the hosts here. So we're not going to say Zog.
I just got out edged by 3 of my guests. You're not supposed to out edge the guest. By the way, everyone.
5 dudes edging on the Theory Underground. 5 dudes using their time energy to edge on the Theory Underground podcast.
Yeah,
I want everyone to sit in that.
Sit on it. Everybody.
I prefer to goon. I've been gooning all day. So
hell yeah. Oh
yeah, man.
There's a rare moment of agreement there.
Yeah,
I'm pro goon over edge.
Okay, so I'm gonna I don't care if we actually get into what any of that means, but whether it be gooning or Zog, I don't care. The fact that both of you were able to fist pump shows that there really is not as much of a generational divide as you guys thought there was after all, because I don't
we're healing the divides in this country right now.
Right here. Right now. I thought you want to create divides in this country. That was my other bone to pick with you, but
I want to heal the divides that are broken and create more divides where they're healed. It's just kind of a pro change sort of disposition.
Yeah, just as long as it's
deterritorialize, reterritorialize,
yeah,
and then deterritorialize again.
Yes. I call it oh man, there's probably a really good pun there involving like territorializing. I'm gonna workshop that one. Like just a cyclical. Like never-ending cyclical deterritorialize, reterritorialize.
Perfect. All right.
I think they call that fascism, actually.
I am welcome. I am a fascist. Proud fascist. Drag the fascist on the Theory Underground. We're all using the time energy to platform fascist.
Glad to finally have one on the channel. It's been a long time. We've had several people be accused of it, but it's nice to have someone own up. Really quickly, the thing I wanted to point out is shared in the chat. You can both look at it. I'm going to share it on screen right now. It is the new Underground Theory cover reveal for the Kindle edition. And the reason that it relates to what we were just talking about is because JREG was just saying the anti-aesthetic thing that he does. And I just want to say, we don't do graphic design here. I keep receiving requests from people saying, hey, we see that you could use some help with your graphic design. I'd love to help. Well, read the subtitle, JREG. What does it say?
We don't care about graphic design.
There we go. So take that one.
That's strong. That's a power move. Is Theory Underground like in like JPEG or something? That would be cool. I think it just might be pixelated because I'm zooming in on it. This is a great cover. This is a totally good cover.
Thank you. Yeah. He don't care.
Where's my buddy One Dime on this list of names? I must scan.
Tony Chamas.
Is he
bottom
there?
middle.
Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah, okay.
I forgot he has a real name, yeah.
He has a government name and an internet name.
We doxed him.
I have to ask, dude, your Subgenius poster behind you. I have to ask, are you I don't know. I think Dave is a secret situationist and he doesn't even know it. But yeah. Like, I don't know, like when you were talking about the imperfections in art and this and that, like that takes me back to like Benjamin, when Benjamin, the author as producer, like he's talking about overproducing art is, I mean, he was like, it's fascism, but like just lying to your audience sucks. And it seems like you're very aware of honesty or authenticity, if you will. And it's couched in post irony, which I think can be jarring for people if they aren't accustomed to, I don't know, just the way people communicate. But I don't know. I like the authenticity and I don't like to use that word. So I prefer to use honesty. Like, I think it's very honest and I like it a lot. And also I like your poster.
Are you a situationist?
That's a guy. I am a situationist. and I'll proudly come out as a situationist on this theory under what is a situation. Never mind. I know. Okay, there's why I'm a situationist. I situated myself here in this chair, which is not my chair, and that's not my poster. But I feel like for the conversation to continue in a way that like we all feel good about, that has to be my poster. And I have to know what that means. So I am a part of what this signifies.
Dude, honestly, you're not Tekashi 69 and you're not Post Malone. You're Josie Siwa saying that you just invented gay pop because you don't realize your roots. You're doing the thing, but you don't know your roots. It's settled. Josie Siwa.
All I can say, and this is all I'm going to say about that, is I tried Googling Josie Siwa and I spelled Siwa CSWAH. That's the gap between the cultural references we're throwing at each other right now.
I didn't know who she was until everyone was complaining that she was saying she invented gay pop. And then I was like, who is this woman? And then it's like, oh, she was like a little kid dancing with the stars. And now she's trying to be edgy and sexy. And it's weird. And everyone's uncomfortable because she dances too hard. I don't know. That's pretty much it. But I don't know. Yeah. 6ix9ine. Siwa. I wanted to bring it back to Time Energy vibes and say that my favorite thing about what you made explicit is something that was only talked about kind of in the dark back rooms when we were coming up with time energy theory over all those years before my master's thesis. And that is that it's supposed to be very intuitive so that you're basically using it correct even if you don't have the stipulations, right? Even if you don't have the theoretical caveats and stipulations, it's close because when people already say, I don't have the time and energy for that. And so someone hears, I don't have the time energy for that. You go, I can just drop the and it's the same thing. And it's like, well, it is kind of the same thing. It's lacking a little Heidegger and Marx sophistication, that could be added onto it. There's a little bit of libidinal economy, Žižek, Lacan, blah, blah, blah. But no, the basic point is there. It's just that normally, and this is the other part of the definition I didn't bring into it earlier, time energy has large energy infused blocks of repeatable time reliably between us. It's large, right? Well, that's kind of like saying a heap of sand. Well, at what point does a couple of grains, you keep adding grains, at what point does it become a heap? Well, the point is that it's repeatable too. It's not, so these things are all vague. It's like, well, how many times do we repeat it in a day or in a week, right? Like that's the question. Well, you're not, at the point that you're counting, you probably don't have it, because for it to really be yours and you can do something with it, that kind of energy would be cool, calm, and collected, and it's reliable enough that you feel pretty comfortable about being able to do the kinds of things you want to be able to do. You can't buy that at a store because the money you got only came from exchanging your labor power, and labor power only comes from putting time energy under erasure. Because when you've exchanged your time energy for labor power, all you have left is energy without repeatable time, or you've got time without energy. And most of us just have time without energy most of the time. So
I have a question.
What's your question?
Question from the audience. Okay. So what if, I see what you're saying, but what if I was like the best at converting my time energy into labor energy or whatever, and I got so much labor energy or whatever, let's say I got so much money, labor power, that does labor power convert into money?
Yeah. Well, you sell it.
Okay. It is converted into money. Yeah.
Okay. I get so much labor power that I like cannot, because we're progressing towards the post-human techno-capital singularity in a time. What if I'm like one of those trillionaire guys? Like, what if I get to be one of those guys and then I get infinite time energy in the singularity? That sounds, I think, because like basically I'm not a nihilist. I'm looking for the ways out here. That seems to be one of the ways out. I'll just become a trillionaire and I'll get the infinite time energy.
But you have it in isolation. No, like then you're on an island and then you're Robinson Crusoe. Like it is meaningless in isolation. Like it isn't necessarily a common resource. So if you wanted to build a spaceship and take 150 people who fit comfortably into your Dunbar window group or Dunbar group, and you could shoot off on a rocket, the Timenergy JREG space
notes.
extravaganza. Yeah.
Great title. I'm going to use that.
No,
JREG Timenergy.
JREG, we could write a letter and get some help from maybe Elon Musk or Peter Thiel. I'm sure that people already think they give me money. So I'm pretty sure that we could get their money. And then they could probably put a spaceship together for us. Yeah. And then we could have Timenergy.
Okay. Scratch that. I'll just get enough labor energy to give one podcast money one time, but then everyone will think that I'm giving all the podcasts money. I would be satisfied with that. I don't need the infinite time energy thing. I've changed. My flows have changed. My desires have shifted throughout the flow of this conversation.
They've reterritorialized.
I reterritorialized it. Yeah, Nance, I saw you shaking your head very like disappointedly when I was talking about becoming a trillionaire, and you're kind of like, and this is just, I'm imposing this on you, but like the elder disapproval kind of shocked me out of it. I was like, I don't even want to say this as a joke anymore, not in front of Nance.
Oh, I'm glad I could serve that role for you.
Trying to not make Nance shake his head is the main sort of moderating or regulating factor here at Theory Underground. Like I think when I shake my head or express disapproval, people just get animated and
no one gives a shit.
No one gives a shit. Yeah. But
Damn.
Nance is cool enough.
Do you feel like left out because of that? You feel like your approval doesn't matter as much?
No, it's like psychoanalytically speaking, it's because people have put me in the position of the father, you know. Yeah,
we've transferred. He's daddy, and we're trying to transgress daddy because we're all trying to fuck our dads, according to Freud, or something like that. Or maybe
in the chat, he knows about it.
Yeah.
No, it's true. Okay. Like there is this approach.
I'm writing this down as well next to the JREG space extravaganza. I want to fuck my dad.
Yeah.
Good.
Let him know.
That's in my notes. That's one of the 4 things I'm taking away from this podcast, by the way. So that's number 4.
Tell him you've been in a room for the last 10 years talking to the glass, and you've come to the conclusion you want to have sex with him. And that, that's basically the trajectory of psychoanalysis anyway. So he'll relate, I'm sure.
Okay, I'm actually going to cross this one off. I've decided I don't need this one. I think you should grow a longer beard though. Then you will beard mog Nance, and then you can have that fatherly disapproval. And then you guys can like compete. It can be like an arms race. You could do a positive feedback loop until you both embody the archetypal father.
Oh, dude, that's actually accelerationism. I've heard you like allude to it, bring it up, mention it.
And all children should read the accelerationist books. Just throwing that out there. Now I'm a fucking moral paragon for the children.
Yeah. How dare you, JREG? Think of the children.
You want the kids reading Nick Land though?
Yeah, they need
to. They absorb it via osmosis when they're not reading it, because it is kind of like the culture is saturated in it, whether or not we want it to be or not. But no, accelerationism, that's like a word that gets tossed around a lot. I think it often gets misunderstood. Left accelerationism, right accelerationism, EAC, blah, 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 like all this stuff. I don't know, but ultimately it comes down to like, I want to ask you, should we just continue dancing at this dance party at the end of the world, or should I, as an elder millennial man who wants to be morally responsible, I don't know, should I try to do something that's actually effective? Is there anything that exists that is actually effective?
Right. I appreciate you asking this question because you're trying to like get a straight answer from me. I like a kind of like a what would you call like a judgment answer, like where like I give you a firm answer. And like, but like, okay, when you ask me that, I think what you're asking me, Nance, what should I do? And I know that if you tried to dance at the end of the world, you would not be a good vibe at that party. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you would be like, and that's no offense to you. That's actually that's good. Like, it means you have morals and values, and you'd be trying to dance. I would be dancing wholeheartedly, like, but you would be like, yeah, but like you wouldn't really be that into it. And so if you're not, you shouldn't go to a party that you're not that invested in. I think you'd be
Word.
much. I think you trying suits you a lot better. Like earnestly, right?
That's interesting.
I think Nance is always the guy here, like the representative of the people who are, they've got two wolves, we'll say. One is just this complete doomer, black-pilled, Nick Land accelerationist guy, except that Land embraces the annihilation and wants it, and that Nance's wolf, that is accelerationist, doesn't desire that and just mourns it. And then the other wolf, I don't know how to describe it. Nance, I don't know, but there's another one.
I think like I want to leave I want to leave something behind for my children and the world they inhabit, something more than cancer and alcoholism and mistakes. I believe in some future, and I would like to take part in it. But I also am convinced that it's already too late. Like we've passed the point of no return.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting contradiction to live with. That's a tough one. Like having kids with that contradiction in you. And it's like, again, not to play into the generational thing, but like, this is what I think about all the time as someone who is considering having children, right? It's like, damn.
For sure.
Because I'd be where you are.
No, it's weird. Like I'm some kind of antinatalist, and I have kids, and I feel like guilt for having kids. And it wasn't my fault. I mean, it was my fault, but I wasn't like intentionally doing it. I was carried away in the moment.
As you do.
But also like it's only through them that I am still here. Like having kids at a young age is what influenced me to get sober and try to be responsible and shit like that. So there's that contradiction of like they're my entire world, but also I feel horrible for bringing them into a world that's on fire. Yeah.
We don't have to end on a positive note, but we do have to end on the live side, and I'm going to let you both say some closing thoughts.
I just think that I actually really like that note to end on. I mean, it's so human. It's so real.
Yeah.
I think that's a great note. I think that's like and this is maybe the core, like this is maybe the core for like philosophical or like artistic difference that we've been like poking at for the last hour. It's a great place to leave it off on, which is like, I don't see the need to wrap things up nicely. Sometimes it's okay to just like end in a moment. Ow, but I'll let the moment go. Do your thing.
No, actually, let's tie it into, and we'll all learn a theory concept. Lacan had this thing called the variable length session, and he got kicked out of the psychoanalytic community that he was in because he would practice it, and people said he was practicing it to make money. But the theoretical reasoning behind it stands to reason, basically being when we reach that moment of like, oh, that's it. You cut it off there so people can actually think about it instead of distracting themselves and changing the subject. And so in the honor of the variable length session, I think, yes, and also just what you said, we're going to shut it off right there. Thank you so much for joining. We'll be right back after this. Thanks, everybody.
We cannot do direct revolution, but the only way to lay the foundation for it is to do what you are doing to move the underground. It's a theoretically correct title.
Welcome to Theory Underground, a place for workers with earbuds who are tired of letting others read and think on their behalf, slipstreaming our way into an understanding of the situation that short-circuits the deadlocks of our moment.
Research at Theory Underground focuses on what is most important for understanding our current situation: theory of the subject, capital, time-energy theory, critical media theory, CMT, and the most essential critiques necessary for understanding why the theory, ideology, and common sense of influencers left to right misses the mark.
Theory Underground is coming to a city near you. What that has meant in the last year is traveling across the United States, into Canada, and then all over Europe to promote our books, courses, and ideas related to time energy and underground theory. You've been reading Underground Theory.
I'm a publisher and an editor. I run a review of books. Literally, it's my living. This is the best edited collection I've ever read.
Okay, picture this scene. America, early 2021. An Amazon warehouse worker arises from the emerging underground theory internet scene to create spaces for untimely topics and concerns that are too often neglected or kept in isolation today. Joined by a revolving cast of underground theorists, academics, and critics, he establishes what will become Theory Underground, a teaching, research, and publishing platform by and for working-class intellectuals, autodidacts, and academics who want to do more than they're able to do within the confines of academia. That warehouse worker's name is David McKerracher, and his book Time Energy is his first major contribution to the world of theory. It was recently reprinted with a foreword by none other than Slavoj Žižek, who also contributed to Theory Underground's latest book.
My Bible, it's an excellent book.
A collection of essays called Underground Theory.
What you just heard is an excerpt from the Strange Exiles podcast, episode 23, where Bram from Strange Exiles interviewed me and Mikey. For those who don't know, Mikey is the author of the Dangerous Maybe blog. We are publishing one of his books here shortly at Theory Underground. He's also a lecturer at Theory Underground, and he's someone I've been friends and a collaborator with for over 10 years. But most importantly for you all, he's a fantastic lecturer, and it's a crime that he has to do wage labor right now. One of the long-term goals of Theory Underground has been now for a couple of years to hashtag free Mikey. That is something that I've been really pushing, but first I had to get freed from wage labor, which was achieved this year. That's right. Thanks to my monthly seminar subscribers, I was able to quit Amazon and do Theory Underground full time. Now I'm announcing the next big phase of the plan, which is the Mikey Down seminar. What monthly subscribers to the Mikey seminar are paying for is a survey of philosophy, including deep dives into Žižek, Land, Lacan, Baudrillard, Bataille, Lyotard, and ultimately the whole history of philosophy.
We're trying to build like this ongoing seminar, right? And that's what I really like about this thing, where, you know, if I'm teaching a main text, that's something I got to focus on. I got to really, but the seminar thing, we can do this stuff all the time, where we dive deeper into concepts, we dive deeper into certain, you know, sections of books or whatever, and we can really do this nuanced stuff.
I think that there's probably no better way for us to accelerate our learning in these areas than by slipstreaming Mikey. And that has been my belief for years and years and years now. It's official. You're able to help out. You're able to get involved. You're able to benefit directly from liberating him from wage labor. Get on it right now. Do it. Just go. Stop what you're doing. Go click the button. Subscribe. This is what you do. Subscribe to him. If you're already signed up for the ongoing Theory Underground seminars, then that's the ones that I do with my wife, Anne. Though that's getting an upgrade, which means that I will be doing one session per month that is just me, and then I will also be doing the ones with Anne, which are a crash course in sociology, anthropology, the social sciences, and ultimately Marx, Heidegger, Levinas, Bourdieu, imminently critiquing pop psychology, sociology, self-help, and ultimately the doxa of our time. But if you would like to be a subscriber to both Mikey's seminar and the seminar that the Snellgrove McKerrachers are doing, then the best way is to become a tier 4 subscriber, or you can be a tier 2 subscriber to each of us. The reason this matters is because tier 2 is like pretty much the best bang for your buck. It gives you huge discounts on all of the courses that we do. But if you can't afford it, tier 4 is amazing because it gives you tier 3 access at both Mikey's seminar and ours.
And finally, not everybody has time to be part of these ongoing research seminars, and they just want to fund the paid content for the YouTube and podcast. And so thank you so much to our patrons over at Patreon. They're the ones funding all the free stuff. So big thank you to Bert, Marilyn, Carl, Sahil, Zozandra, Nikolai, Darian, Tyler, and Mandeep, and all the other wonderful patron people, Patreon people. And thank you to all the other wonderful Patreon people. Thank you so much to all of you patrons, and also to the special subscribers and the paying subscribers. Oh my god, it's just so awkward. Thank you, Patreon. Patrons, thank you. Oh, okay. And to all the other wonderful patrons, thank you so much, all you patrons. And also a special thanks to the subscribers on the YouTube side, as well as the paying subscribers over at Substack. Why can't we do this? Fuck. You guys, just thank you. Thank you, everyone, for making this bullshit possible. Thank you to the subscribers. You do it. You did so good. Thanks, guys.